Wicked, wicked. Jungle is massive. Wicked, wicked. West Ham are massive. Wicked, wicked. Jungle is massive. Wicked, yo, 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 yo. West Ham are massive. Everywhere we go. West Ham are massive. Tell them how we got this skill. West Ham are massive. Everywhere we go. West Ham are massive. Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. West Ham are
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. This is not the Sunday night show; it's a Monday night show. John was hungover.
It feels like a Sunday.
It does feel like a Sunday.
The Monday, a bank holiday Monday feels like a Sunday, doesn't it? And then no one knows what day. What is it today? Is it Monday or Sunday? Meh.
That's happened to me today. Yes, honestly, I feel
like you were fucking stupid.
I know. Yeah, no. Sorry about last night. It was me. I was a little bit worse for wear. We was out on Saturday night. I went to see Michael Levy Jr. Very good. Having a little boogie, cutting some shapes on a dance floor. I was.
Yeah.
And I was buying John shots. I was buying John shots that he weren't drinking, so I was having to drink them.
Yeah, I was on a non-alcoholic beer that night, wasn't I?
Yeah.
But the best thing about that night, Mickey, and everyone watching, is that Happy Hammerette confirmed that in person, Nick's got a bigger head than me. So
Lies. She's in the chat. She'll never confirm that in the chat ever. Not in a million years.
Confirmed it loud and clear, mate. Everyone said it. So good weekend.
But anyway, Mickey, how are you, mate?
Yeah, cushy, mate. Feels like a Sunday.
It does. Depressing. Got work tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. But then it's a short week, so
it's
always the upside, isn't it?
Yeah, very true, mate. Very true.
Nick, they're always short weeks for you, aren't they?
That's out of order. That's why it is.
Queued him up there, didn't you?
Sorry.
John, how about yourself, mate? You had a good day?
I've had a good day. I went to Dagenham and Redbridge at Southend United. It was a 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. Very, very entertaining game. Great game of football. Proper old stadium, innit? A little bit falling apart to some extent, but they've had their money worries, obviously. But I was in the Dagenham end. It was very lively, and it was. There was
a risk. I was going to close that down, wasn't there? Was it last year?
Yeah, for the last few years, they've been right on the cosh. I think their owner, he owed HMRC a certain amount of money. They've come to a deal now, but I think someone's took them over now eventually. So, yeah, they got their head above water. But I was there as a Dagenham fan today, so yeah.
Yeah. 2-2 draw though. Tasty. Was it decent football or what you'd expect?
Yeah, very.
What's that, mate?
What you at?
You know John's, even at that level, you see something.
John's having a wobble on his internet.
John's lagging.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll talk about the game in a bit, and then we'll look ahead to Bournemouth. But before we do, obviously we're in the last week of the transfer window, and there's loads of ins and outs that are expected to happen. We're expecting at least 2 more players in. At least 2 more, but before that happens, we've got to get players out. We're working very, very hard to get some players out. So I've got an update here. I'll tell you what I'm working from. I'm working from the recent X update as well. So this is a list that I'm running through. So what he's saying at the moment is that we will take an offer for Naya Fagued. We're trying everything to get him shipped out. He did mention a 30 million fee. I really can't see us getting 30 million for him. Apparently, Wolfsburg for Naya Fagued, I don't think we're getting 30 million for him.
Oh.
I think you're going to be looking at half that, in my opinion. Wolfsburg did place an offer apparently, but he turned that down because there is a move from Saudi that he's waiting for. So I think his preference will obviously be to go for Saudi. That can only be for money reasons, I'm assuming, and that'll suit us, providing they'll take the player. The other one is James Ward-Prowse, the same thing. X didn't come out and say that we're actively looking to sell the player, but we're not going to say that, are we? But what they're saying is that we would sell him, basically, if somebody would come in. The player wants to play as well, so he's not going to be happy. He's well down the pecking order now. Especially if we get Salarian, or Saleh, wherever you pronounce his name, which it looks like is going to happen. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So James Ward-Prowse, Southampton are interested. as are Everton, but there's no concrete offers yet. What we could be looking at is a loan with an option or an obligation to buy. We've just got to make space on the wage bill this year. That's what they're saying. So Cornet is another one. We're looking for someone to take him on a free. Everton and Burnley could be tempted. We're not going to get any money for him. That's another one that's just going to be gone, where we just want to get him off the wage bill. Danny Ings is another one. We're desperate to move him on. Southampton came in, put a bid in for him. We accepted it. He said, "Nah, you're all right. I'm going to stick around." The reason for that is I think Danny Ings is playing the game, and I think he's well within his rights to do so. Danny Ings knows he's going to be given a golden handshake by West Ham, and then he'll go and join another club. I don't blame him. We shouldn't have signed him. It weren't his fault that he got signed. I don't even think that one was Moyes' fault. That was a gift from Sullivan.
Who do you think he'll go to? Do you think he'll go Southampton?
I think he'll go back to Southampton, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but he'll be gone. Yeah, he's older. Is he older than that, isn't he? Or is he only 31?
I think he's 30, 31, mate. He's been around a long time.
Oh, right.
I think he could go back to Southampton, maybe Ipswich. I don't know, one of the promoted teams, really.
Someone will take him. Someone will 100% take him.
Everton, one of the lower down teams in the bottom half of the table, maybe,
Fox in the box and that, he'll still do a job for him. He'll still score goals in that, like.
He'll do a job in the right team. I genuinely think, just obviously, he was brought into a team where he played one up front. It was never going to work for him, and I don't think he's a Lopetegui type player either. So, I mean, I really think he could. He's 32.
He's sitting pretty. Ings. He knows the score. He knows that we want him out. He knows that we're going to have to pay him off. He's still got a year left. He's going to get his money. I don't blame him. I'd probably do the same if I was him at each stage of his career. He'll go on and play somewhere else. Zuma had a move to the UAE, which collapsed because he didn't pass his medical. Surprise, surprise. So he's gone over to the Saudi League, and we have found a club that are willing to take him on loan with an obligation. Well, so they're saying, an obligation to buy. So it looks like the Zuma deal is done. Freddie Potts has moved to Portsmouth. They've just announced that on their socials. Yeah. So he's gone to League One. They're League One, aren't they? Portsmouth.
Championship, aren't
they? Are they Championship?
Which is a step up again.
He's gone up a level.
So and the thing is as disappointing as it is seeing him go out on loan, because we thought he'd be in and around the squad this season. That was before, obviously, a lot of signings came in. With the quality of signings we brought in, it probably makes sense for him to go out on loan, because he ain't going to get a lot of game time. And to do it in the Championship, it's a very, very, very tough league. So he's done it in League One.
Absolutely. No. Well, I'm glad about that. It was actually Ben that said that was League One, so I'm glad they're Championship. The other one is just touching on our kids and loans. George Urphy.
No one's touching kids, mate. No one's touching on kids.
George Urphy went to Bristol and they had their opening game against Millwall. He came on and set up a goal. Apparently, played very well in that little cameo. Got some minutes again. Callum Marshall scored a goal and got man of the match in the last game for Huddersfield as well.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So he's doing very well. Right, that's it for players out at the moment. What I have been told is that Thomas Soucek, we'll go on to talk about that polarising subject in a minute. Thomas Soucek has been shop windowed, but we will not accept anything less than what we want to get for him, because we think he's doing his job. He's probably our most, of all the players that we're willing to shift out, he's the one that I think that we could actually get some decent money for. There are some clubs interested in him as well, from Turkey and other European clubs as well. So there could be some movement on that front towards the end of the window. Everything crossed. All right. The other one is players coming in. So Carlos Soler, that deal is basically done. It's been done for about a week. All of the terms have been agreed between the club and the player. It's done, but there is kind of we're not pressing the go button, because I don't know why. Because the rumour is, even if we don't get players out, we'll get him in anyway. So I don't know what the delay is, but they are saying that they've got to shift and they've got to make some space on that wage bill before we do go out and get him in. The other one is a forward. So we are going to be getting a forward. We're linked with. We'll talk about Tammy Abrahams first. John, what do you think of Tammy Abrahams?
He has a lot of injuries, doesn't he? That's what I seem to think about him.
Yeah.
I'm not overwhelmed with it, to be honest with you. But it's another case of, you wasn't overwhelmed, or some people weren't overwhelmed when we gone out and got the big German. But You know, you just got to give them a chance. If Lopetegui wants them and they come in, you've got to give them a chance. That's all I can say to you. The only positive side is that he knows the Premier League. He's played in the Premier League. So, there's no excuse about not being Premier League ready or anything. So he should technically be able to hit the ground running.
He's a mobile striker. I think if it weren't for his fitness issues, he's a good player. He's a good player.
He came through the Chelsea ranks. He done fairly well there, and a lot of them were sort of sad to see him go because maybe more one of your own sort of scenario more than anything else. But look, at the end of the day, what's the value looking at? What are they looking at transfer?
They're talking about 20 million. I mean, for me, I'll tell you now,
not a lot of money, is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't take him personally, but
but 20 million. Not that it matters to us about what the club spend on players. We don't. It's not our money, but technically, is 20 million a lot? It's not really.
Not really. No.
When you see strikers go for.
How old is he? Is he 27? Is he?
I didn't think he was that old.
How old is he? Someone must know.
What do you reckon, Mick? What's your opinion on Tammy?
Well, his first season at Roma and that, he done really well.
He did well,
he done really well. And then he's 26, apparently, people saying here, Martin and that.
So it's a good age. It's a good age.
Yeah. So he's a good age. But then he got that injury, which really set him back. I mean, people saying about other people, like they said, once that Soucek scored more goals in the last 2 seasons than Abraham has, but that is to do with his injury issues. Yeah. Again, it's one of them things. If he can stay fit, it'd be a good signing for 20 million, I think. But it does all depend on that fitness. And we haven't got the greatest of records on people's and fitnesses. So
it's a risk. I mean, the only thing that I would say is when you've got all the options that we've got up front, I don't think that we'd be reliant on Tammy Abrahams. Well, no, I don't think we would. I think when you've got the abundance of players that we've got in the forward positions, I think you can almost take a risk on one injury-prone player with the best injury record. You can.
Yeah, because we've got quite a few players that can play the false nine. So even if you don't have a proper striker, we've got three, maybe 4 players that could possibly play that false nine position, like Kudus, maybe Bowen. They can play that false nine position without a recognised striker. You know what I mean?
The question for everyone is, if it was Tammy Abrahams and nobody, would you rather have nobody? I think I'd rather take him.
No, I'd take Abrahams all day long. Yeah,
I think I'd rather take him. So if that's the option, as we know, we are still interested in Duran, and the special player. He hasn't said this, but the special X said that we're going to get a surprise at the end of the window, or we're hoping to get a surprise at the end of the window. That's what I've heard as well from my source, and that player is Duran. What they're waiting for is Aston Villa to move. Aston Villa are expected to sign up around about 4 more players towards the end of the season. They was linked with Omeridian, but I think that's fallen through. That player's gone to Porto. I think he's moved to Porto now, I believe. So they would need to get another forward in, but they've got that other player. They've got like Morgan Rogers, who's playing in kind of that forward driving sort of false nine position.
He looked really good against Arsenal.
Fucking good. He's really good. So they've got him. They've got who's the other one? Ramsey. Is it Ramsey as well? Jacob Ramsey.
Yeah.
Is it Jacob Ramsey?
They've got Ramsey. Yeah.
So they've got a few options, and there are still. I know there are from the Aston Villa side. There's still concerns about Duran's impact on the squad if he doesn't get his own way, that type of thing. So there is still hope that we could get Duran done before the window closes. If we can, that's got to be the one.
What's Amanda said? Amanda said the sound is quiet.
And so did Happy Emma, so did Kerry. She said there's something wrong with the sound.
Whose sound? Mine?
The whole show.
All of ours.
Really?
Yeah, I think Kerry said all our sounds was. She said our sounds are bad and John keeps dipping in and out, like freezing and that.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm often dipping in and out with the women's, you know what I mean?
Well, look, hopefully it settles. Hopefully it settles down.
Yeah, look,
sound is fine. Martin says sound is fine. So Amanda, you're talking shit.
Yeah. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Amanda ain't turned her volume up. To be fair,
probably.
That's what kind of bad there is.
You know, Amanda, stop moaning.
So I think the obvious one would be. I mean, look, Carlos Soler is going to come in. That he will come in. That's probably, he would be.
Why do you think? But can I just say something? Why do you think there's been such a midfield seems to have been the positions we've been strengthening the most, isn't it? Or keen to
because our midfield is awful and we've been so overrun there. So I think defensive midfield had to get fixed.
Right. You say our midfield is awful. You're relating that back to 2 of the players in the midfield, right? We know
I am,
you're going to say, right? Fine. But surely the striker situation is more indicative of, you know.
No. Personally, for me, I think that the priority should have been at the start of the window when Duran was offered. He did make a fuck up at the start of the window. He got offered Duran on a plate, and he chose to go swanning around Brazil, and we went and got Guilherme, who can't even get on our fucking bench at the moment. So he did get his priorities wrong in that instance, but it was fixed. It was fixed later on in the window. Duran, I still think will happen. I just think that it will. I know a lot of people are saying no chance, but I think
you still think we're going to get Duran?
I think we're going to get him. I do honestly believe we're going to. I don't think we're going to get Tammy Abrahams. The club have already come out and expressed concerns with his injury record, because although it's 20 million, it's not, is it? I mean, what's he going to be earning? 140, 150 grand a week? He will be, like coming from Chelsea.
I bet he's on that at Roma, is he?
They pay decent money. He'll be earning decent money out there, I think.
No, it's a fucking Farmers League. Italian League's a Farmers League. Even Louis knows that. It's a shitty league. Shit league. Shit Farmers Italian League. They get bonuses of Dolmio sauce as a bonus.
They must pay decent money because, I mean, like, a lot of players have been trying to get out there to the top clubs. I mean, like even Todibo, he wanted to go to Juventus, but instead he got to come and sit on our bench. So I bet he's well happy at the moment.
Well, this is, I don't think he's on pocket money, John.
Go on.
I don't think he's on pocket money. I think he's on a bit.
All right. So, he's not on pocket money. No, I'm not saying he is, but that's proof there. Juventus couldn't afford him one way or the other, whether it be transfer fee in one lump or amount of money.
No, they haven't got money in the league. They haven't got any money in the league.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's on 150 grand a week in Roma.
Yeah, 90 someone's just said.
Yeah, so he
I wouldn't like this one. I would not. I wouldn't like it.
No, I don't think we need him. And the other one, I'll tell you the other one was Sterling. So obviously Chelsea tried to forcibly get Sterling on our books. Do you know how much he's on? 320 grand a week. No one's paying him that. No one's paying him that. Even if they give him away, no one's picking that money up. And even Aston Villa, they've offered him after the Omeridian deal fell through. They offered Emery and Ornstein to come out, because I've been following Aston Villa news because I want to see when they sign a fucking striker, because Emery's come out and said I don't want him. I don't need Sterling. So I just think sometimes these players, they get to a certain level, don't they? Do you know, like it'll be the same with Grealish, John. Whatever Grealish is on at Man City, I mean, if he moves from Man City, who's gonna pay that level of money that he's on now?
What's he on at City?
It'd be on loads, mate.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Loads.
He will be. He will be on loads. Yeah.
But surely they come. I mean, Danny Ings is different because he's towards the end of his career. But if you're young, hungry, and you just want to play, if you have to take a 30 grand pay cut on 150 grand a week, let's say, it's not a great deal if you're earning that sort of money, is it? It is. But what I mean is.
Yeah, but I think Sterling would have to take a 200 grand pay cut to come to West Ham.
Yeah, but Sterling's 32 or 33, so he's within his right. I think he's 32, isn't he? I don't know.
I don't think he's that old.
He's been around for fucking ever.
In all honesty, though, would you take him? Would you take Sterling?
No.
I don't think we need him. I don't think we need another. He's very much similar to what we've got. And I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player.
No, he is good. He is a good player. He is a good player.
If you bring him in, you're going to have the wages through the roof, and all the other players are going to go, well, how's he on that? And I'm only on... That causes a bit of a problem. But not just that, he's very similar to a lot of players we've got.
He's 29. He's 29, I read that earlier.
He's better age than I thought, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but...
He's been about for fucking ages.
But would you want to play him over Somerville to give them a chance?
Oh, look.
That's what I'm saying. If you bring them in... If you bring them in, then players you've brought in ain't going to get as good a chance, opportunity, blah 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 blah. You know, like we've seen.
And to be fair, we don't need it. You know, we've got 2 games this week, but on the whole, you know, we're playing mostly one game a week. So he's I think our squad's okay. I think another midfielder, if one is going out. So obviously, look, James Ward-Prowse is probably going to, because James Ward-Prowse strikes you as the type of player he ain't going to be happy sitting on the bench. So he's probably he will have probably had the conversation to say, look, am I in your plans? Are you going to play me? And if they've said no, he'll probably want to go and play elsewhere. He strikes you as that type of player. So I think he'll want to go. I think the same will apply.
Professional, you mean, yeah?
I think he'll want to play. So I think that's probably why we're going to see James Ward-Prowse move. Thomas Soucek the same. So you saw his face when he went off the game. You know, the game just gone. He didn't look happy when Alvarez came on. There will be a bit of an issue there, you know, with the Czech boys. Like Wan-Bissaka, when he came on, it was just night and day. That's what turned the game for us, was when Wan-Bissaka came on. It transformed us. And Soufal will not be happy playing backup. We heard it all last season. He kicked off. The minute Johnson comes in, he's on Czech fucking radio moaning. And that's not me having a go at them. If they want to play first team football, they want to play first team football. But I don't think either one of them. It's like a lot of people have been talking about using Thomas Soucek as the ideal bench player, as a box crasher. I agree. I think if you're in the last 10, 15 minutes of a game and you're either defending a lead or you're going for a lead, I think he's a good player to have on your bench to bring on to batten down the hatches, or go use him as a box crasher to get one of those important goals. But I don't think he's going to be happy. And anyone, I don't give a fuck. Anyone that thinks that man is going to be front and centre of this team for the duration of the season, you're off your tits. You're off your tits. As far as I'm concerned, you are. I know everyone loves him. I don't hate him. I don't like him as a footballer. I never have. I never have liked him as a footballer. I agree with this geezer. Just very quickly, before we go any further, one second. 1 minute. I'm going to play this little video for you.
As a lot of you will know, if you follow me, I'm a massive West Ham fan. So I watch Thomas Soucek play football, attempt to play football most weeks. Now, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, you can let me know, right? But I think Thomas Soucek would win the Ballon de Box. You might be asking, what the fuck is the Ballon de Box? Well, the Ballon de Box is a trophy I've made up, and it basically just is who would be the best footballer in the world if the game was just played in both boxes. And I think it's Thomas Soucek. Listen, in the opposition box, goals, right? Headers, mostly. Sometimes the odd volley. In his own box, absolutely solid. A last-ditch tackle, tick. Defending from a corner, tick. Now, if that was all there was to football, we would be looking right here at the greatest of all time. The problem really for Thomas is there's about 70 yards of green in the middle where he's absolutely fucking useless. He really gives Mikel Antonio a run for his money when it comes to the least technically gifted footballer I've ever seen. I was at the Villa game on Saturday and I saw a stat that honestly I could not believe. I didn't think it was that bad when I saw it in person. As a centre midfielder playing for the team that had the majority of the ball during the game, he managed 10 passes in 97 minutes. Our goalkeeper managed 23.
Seriously. And anyone that watches those games, like the Villa game, we had no midfield. No midfield. The Crystal Palace game, we had no midfield. Palace was shit. They still could have had 2 or 3 goals in the first half. He's running around. I was getting the ump watching him. Ben was saying, what is he doing? Ben ain't normally critical, but he's so clumsy. How many times did he push players over with 2 hands? He was just literally running up to players, going whack, pushing them over. He could have had 2 yellow cards before he got his yellow card, and then he could have got a yellow card after his yellow card. He was all over the fucking place. So how people can come out and say he had this amazing game, I don't get it. I agree with what people say. There's blood, sweat and tears from the man. He bleeds for the shirt. He does. I get it. So did fucking Ian Dowie. Should we bring Ian Dowie back? I don't understand it. He hasn't. Yes. We've got great players in this team, and at the end of the day, putting Thomas Soucek in that team, playing a style of football that gets the best out of him, it takes away from Kudus. Kudus cut a fucking sad figure. He was basically subbed after a really shit performance. Why? Because he's put out on the fucking left. Did you see him at the end of the game when Lopetegui went to sort of high-five him? He weren't interested. Paqueta's looking shit because they're getting overrun in midfield. Bowen was shit again, but he popped up and came to life when Soufal came on because he didn't have to hold his hand. Wan-Bissaka came on and he could get forward.
The problem is...
I don't get the argument for it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Listen. People are entitled to their opinion, 100% right. However, I don't hate Thomas Soucek either. You know I don't. I
don't hate him. Right? I don't like him as a footballer.
No, I know. And he scored some important goals, and he scored quite a few goals, and he pops up, and he's great at this, and he's great at that. But in the modern game, you cannot have a player in the middle that is being carried. That is your engine room. Games are won and lost in centre midfield, right? And you cannot keep having him playing there. And in hindsight, not for the result, but in hindsight, him scoring at the weekend was probably one of the worst things that could have happened because all those that bang on the argument saying Soucek should play and all this
He's
stuff.
Amazing. Our most impactful player. Fucking hell.
But look, Jimbo, Jet Set Traveller, Soucek can be effective. Yes, he can.
He can,
but not for 90 minutes.
To make him effective. But to make Soucek effective, you have to make everyone else ineffective. So you're in a situation where you play a style of football where you bypass midfield because we've got no midfield. So as Jay rightly pointed out on that review, you're going right to left. They're trying to play it from the back. Well, they're not. They're knocking it around. We're arrowing fucking long balls. Tell me what. I don't remember it. He made a good point. Tell me once where Soucek won a flick on down to Bowen or Kudus. It didn't fucking work.
I don't remember that. But then let me just say something quickly, because we are getting a lot of stick, but there's a lot of people, not just here today, but before, saying about how we're being like horrible to Soucek. Listen, like we've said, we love Soucek. We do love Soucek as a player, but we call the player how we see it and how they play.
Call the game. Call the player.
And that's it, purely as it is. And yes, he did what he scored a goal and he did get the penalty last, but that's it. So he does have moments in the game, but for all-round play, he's a bit of an hindrance because he can't pass. He makes one good pass out of, well, I can't even tell you that stat because he's only made 10 passes in a fucking game. Do you know what I mean? No. So it's not like we just want the best for West Ham like everyone else does.
But the thing is, what we don't do, what we've never done, we never get caught up in a result. We always actually analyse the game, analyse what we've seen. That was why at the start of last season, where we was winning and everyone was losing their fucking minds, I was going, this is shit. I don't think this is that situation. I think we're going to get better and better and better. I think we are.
Let's just take that point up with.
But everyone criticised me fucking last year for moaning. You know, when we won them games, I said, no, I know you're happy because we're winning, but we're shit. This ain't going to work. I don't think that will be the case this year, by the way. Because I think he'll change it. It'll go out. Sorry,
Shut up. Dodsey says 3 managers choose him: Moyes, Julian, and the international manager. Are they all wrong?
Are they all wrong? Well, okay, Dodsey. So explain to me why. So is Kudus just shit now? Then is he just rubbish? Is Bowen's not as good as what he was? Is Paqueta just shit? What we're doing is we're playing a style of football that suits a fucking lamppost up front. That's why he's our most impact. No, I'm not blaming him. But what I'm saying is the reason that he's involved in most things that are offensive going forwards is because we're literally, rather than build it around the other players, we're building it around him.
But how can you say the game or style is even suiting him if he's only doing 10 passes a game?
No, because I think it is. Because I don't think he can't. I think he must be doing what Lopetegui's asking him to do. I think Lopetegui's asking him to stay out of midfield. He's asking him to just sit there on the edge of the 18-yard box as a target man. He must be. Otherwise, he'd hook him off, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he hook him off?
Well, I mean, I'm starting to think that he should probably play him as the main striker because Antonio looks absolutely dead on his feet or awful.
Yeah.
Is he suddenly going to have Fulkrug and Soucek playing off each other? That'll be quite a sight for sore eyes to some extent.
No. Look, Soucek ain't a new Moyes. We're not doing that. If you look back on last season, we still said the same thing about Soucek because he didn't have a good season. He has moments in a game where he does score and
everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Let me land.
Go on.
Look at that.
Look, do you know what? Go, because I forgot what I was. If you fuck me up,
what I'm saying is everyone's entitled to their opinion. You're entitled to think that Soucek is amazing. He's fucking messy, tall messy. You're entitled to think that. I'm entitled to think he's shit. I think he's shit. I think he done fuck all in that game, apart from make a late running box. And he did score an important goal. That's one thing he does. He's very good at it. He scored loads of important goals for us. But you can think he's good. I think he's shit. It's all about opinions.
But everyone's having a go because
Darren Potter, put that comment up from Darren Potter. Put that comment up from Darren Potter above that one, Nick.
What's that?
Sorry, it's gone now. Hold on, go on. I'll find it. Go on.
It says something about the ball boy. I don't think Soucek's shit.
What, this one?
Use the word shit. I would say Soucek is very...
Sorry, Mick, go on.
Go on.
Soucek is just very limited. Now, Darren Potter wants Soucek to be put in the team because he saves ball boys' lives.
Fucking hell, mate.
But that's what we're saying. We're not having a go at the person himself.
I'm joking.
We love Soucek.
To be fair, they couldn't all jump on a holding like Paqueta, could they?
Salad, man. We all love him. But we're looking at how he plays, and he don't 10 fucking passes in 90 minutes. Come on, people now.
Oh, this is what I mean. This is what I
mean. No, look at this one.
Go on.
Match winner, lifesaver. What a man.
Damien D'Amico, right? I love him.
Oh, he loves it.
I do. He fucking WhatsApps me all the time. He's a wind-up. But do you know what, Damien? You are the biggest turncoat flip-flopper I've ever fucking known. It goes from one extreme to the other, he does. He does. Who? You do. Damien.
Is he another fake Italian like Luigi?
He's a fake Italian, yeah, he is, like Luigi Romano.
You
can't trust them Italians. You can't trust them. What's that? Oasis are coming back. That is good. That is good news. That is good news. But look. So that is all I want to say on the matter. At the end of the day, we all see a game in a different way. I think, and I know this because I've got faith. John, you got faith in Lopetegui as well. I've got faith in that for whatever reason, this is not evolving as quick as what I would like it. But he's obviously
Spanish Moyes the other day.
No, I did, but he's obviously when I saw that lineup, I fucking lost it. But when he's a conservative manager. He obviously is a bit pragmatic, and he's doing this in a phased way because he doesn't want to upset existing players. That's fine. We're going to have to accept that. But I can't believe for a minute, John, that this team that's starting at the moment is going to be the team that's starting in 10 games' time. Can you?
I mean, you not a chance. To get up. Listen, you don't like this, right? But I'm going to say it. You've got to allow players to get up to speed. You've got to allow players that have been on international duty. Some take more time than others.
What, like Soucek, who was on international duty?
No.
He's fucking up to speed, isn't he?
Just come back. Once Alvarez is back in the building and he thinks he's fully fit and he's bought into Lopetegui's ideas on the training pitch, because, it's all going to be based on what Lopetegui sees on the training pitch. I would imagine that Alvarez will definitely come in and Soucek will drop out. Or that's my hope, or that's what I'm imagining. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that I think will happen. I'll be happy. I will be happy for us to keep Soucek, but not as a starter. He can start in cup games and when we need him, but essentially, for me, Soucek, in some ways, can be an impact player.
I'll tell you what, there's some people in this chat that think they would actually believe that Man City have just put a bid in for Thomas Soucek. They would.
I think people are winding you up.
It's unbelievable. Thing is,
he just tweeted, "Here we go."
Here we go. I know, but the thing is, right? I can understand it. A player for his time when he came in, he was a right player at the right time. He was the right player at the right time.
Well, you put your thumbs up. Hang on, why are you putting your thumbs up, Mickey?
Because I agree with Hammers Mikey. So when
your jury is out on Lopetegui.
I can't.
It's only been 2 games. It's only been 2 games, so you can't say either.
No, the jury's not out.
Than Moyes, no?
The jury's not out for me.
The jury's step up then, isn't it?
The jury's not out for me.
But still, I'm not going to be all like a big Loppy mad fan. I'm just biding the time. Let's see what.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
I haven't got a life-size poster of him on my bedroom fucking wall.
Well, then Nick lied to me then because he said he did. So Nick lied to me.
Well, look, Lopetegui for me, I am Lopetegui on board with him completely, but he's clearly going to be someone that pisses me off sometimes. He is. But I do think he's a good manager. Johnny's right. I don't think he's one rung up the ladder. I think he's a couple. Even I tell you what, even if you just look at the changes that he made, look, at the end of the day, the changes that he made, he identified what needed to be done. What was good, a lot of people picked up on that, and I don't remember ever seeing that, John. Actually, I think it was Damien, the turncoat, the flip-flop in the Damien, the flip-flop in the chat. He said, when have we ever had 5 players out warming up on 15 minutes? That's what big clubs do. Big clubs do that. They send all their stars out, and you're like, fucking hell.
Let me just address this. Sorry, Darren. The reason why, because there's so many comments, mate, and I can't just keep putting one person's comments up, brother.
Wait, Potter, calm yourself down, mate.
Yes.
Listen. You've had 5 comments up, mate. You've only been on half an hour. Calm the fuck down, right? So, it ain't all about you, yeah?
The chat jumps as well, so I can't see them all. And, yeah.
Mickey, you are basically shit on comments. I'm going to take it back off you if you carry on,
Backstage.
I'm going to go back on comments. You can be the comment monkey. I'm going to take it off if you don't sort it out.
Actually, it weren't a nice thing you called me backstage, so let's not repeat that.
You put Darren's
I'm not allowed to say the C words anymore.
Darren Potter's made a comment. Put it up now. Put it up now.
No, I'm making a point of not putting it up now.
Darren, I've just put this up for you.
Hang on. Well, okay. Let's discuss this. Soucek, 1 minute. Soucek done more Saturday than shitty Antonio did. I am sorry.
First of all, the English grammar is shit. I'm just going to say.
I'm sorry, Darren. What the fuck did Soucek do apart from crash that ball in? Apart from that, what did he do? Please explain to me. Tell me what he done.
But Darren's right, Nick. He did do more than Antonio.
Yeah, no, but Antonio, he's gonna be coming out of the team. His replacement's there.
Yeah, but Nick, he did do more than Antonio. So Darren's right. That isn't up for debate.
All right, okay, you got a point, Darren. Darren,
Nick,
you've won.
It's like saying you're quicker than me in a 100-metre sprint. We both take half an hour. Yeah.
I know. I reckon I would be marginally quicker though.
Kerry, no,
marginally
you've got a bigger head than me. So.
Marginally
Right, well,
quicker.
I've just told Darren I'm not putting his comments up, but you've just put the last fucking 2 of his up. So well
Right,
done.
okay, well, that's it. Let's get on to the player ratings anyway. Right, 1 second.
Yeah, fuck off, Darren.
Fuck
Right.
off, Darren.
This will be fun now.
Darren, anyway, in the real world. Darren, Jesus. Sorry, Darren.
Right. Giving it a refresh, everyone. Giving it a refresh.
Who done that? Stevie Wonder?
Stevie Wonder. Right, here we go. The donkeys remain. The donkeys are still there. So what we'll do is we'll start at the top. We'll go to...
It's very small.
That's what they all say. We'll start with Areola. John, go on.
Can't you get rid of our heads totally and just have the screen, no? Or just...
No, it's fine. Go on. Areola.
Go on, Mick. Areola.
No, it's you, John.
Oh, all right. Don't shout at me. I thought he did all right. He made a couple of good one-on-one saves, one from Eze. He didn't have a great deal to do second half, but yes, I agree with Stan Fernandez. I'm going to give him a 7 because he kept us in the game early on with some of them one-on-one, especially the one from Eze. And I can't remember the other one. Might have been Eze again. I don't know. But yeah, I thought he did well.
Yeah.
7.
Okay, still the reveal. Who's next? This is you, Mick. You got Soufal.
Hey, you got to put the 7 on Areola.
I've done it.
I can't see it.
Where? All right.
Yeah,
Two screens. You'll get used to it. Don't worry. Go on. Soufal.
Again, for me, this is my marking another donkey. I thought he was terrible. I genuinely thought he was terrible. Yeah, I thought he was bad. As bad this game as he was last game. It's a 4 for me. I just thought he was shit. And it was, you could see that for when he come off, and it just changed the game completely when he come off. So yeah, 4. Donkey him up.
So you think a 4, yeah?
Yeah.
There we go. Vlad, the donkeys are back. That looks quite sexy, isn't it? Right, there we go. Who's next?
You.
Emerson. Yeah, I think Emerson had a good solid game. He made a couple of runs forward, but not many. He isn't released as much as Soufal. I can kind of see the logic in it because I think that Emerson is better defensively than Soufal is. So he's naturally seems to be deeper. It must be under instruction than Soufal is. He played well. His link-up play was good. I think he was all right. He was certainly better than Kudus on that side. We'll talk about Kudus after, but I just feel sorry for the guy at the moment. I do. So for me, I think I'm going to give him. I think he didn't have a great game. Didn't have a great game by his standards. I'm going to give him a 6. I'm going to say it was average. He didn't do anything amazing. So an average game. He certainly weren't bad. Right, okay. Next one. 1 minute. Dinos, John.
Nowhere near as good as Kilman. Couple of sloppy passes early on. He made a block from Eze. I think was it early second half or maybe late first half. He did all right. I'll give him. He looked fairly solid. It wasn't. I don't know. He wasn't as good as he was against Villa. I felt.
You didn't think so? I thought they was both really good at the back then too.
I thought Kilman was head and shoulders overall. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
I'll give Dino 7.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. It's two good games from him though, Dinos. He's done well.
Listen. The thing is about Mavropanos. When we started bringing in players, I think a lot of us were thinking, "Oh, he's going to go." But I tell you what, he's done. It seems like he's upped his game and he's fighting for his place, and I like that about him. Yeah. And maybe some managers click with certain players and vice versa. So yeah, I like the look of what I've seen so far from him this season. So
no,
I think he grew into the game.
Yeah. I thought he was good. But Kilman, for you, Mick.
Mate, I tell you what, if he can play like that every week, he's well worth the 40 million that we played. I thought he was fucking blinding, like the weekend. Love his little runs. His assist was fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought he was brilliant. For me, he was probably my man of the match. I'll probably give him a 9. I think a very high score from me.
I'll tell you what, that's a massive slice of humble pie for me, and I am going to call it now as well. So I'm going to go knee jerk on that. I said he weren't worth 40 million. I think he could very well end up looking quite fucking cheap at 40 million. From what I'm seeing of him, he looks mustard, absolutely mustard.
The You know, the thing is with him, it's no secret. His career was as a futsal player.
Yeah.
Which is indoor football.
He's a bit of a freak of a centre back, isn't he? He's different.
He's different. But you know why? But the futsal thing is a big part of that, right? Because if you think about all them Barcelona stars like Piqué and Ronaldo and all that, they all do futsal because it's about being good with your feet, right? So you can be a big 6 foot fucking centre back, but still be good with your feet. And that goal where he done the defensive side, he broke out and he played that fantastic pass. That epitomises that sort of style of football, the indoor football, where it's all about quick break, quick pass. He's got brilliant feet, and when people said 40 million is too much, you can never go out and buy another Premier League club's captain for 40 million who's also English. To me, I think it's a snip. I genuinely do think it's a snip.
No, 100%. Now, I mean, I obviously didn't watch him play very much because I didn't see this player, John, play for Wolves. He looks fucking outstanding. He looks brilliant.
And
he's got so much pace, as well.
But you think another thing you've got to take into account. Lopetegui worked with him for a very short time, and obviously wanted him. Right? He was in a team. He was in a very Portuguese-based team who all had quick feet, great skill technically, and he fitted in.
I'll tell you what I did notice, because we are going to be playing a lot of diagonals. He's fucking accurate as well.
Yeah,
his passing's accurate. John Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, I think you said it actually. I think his performance on Saturday went under the radar somewhat.
My fault. He's wrong. Wrong person. I've just messaged someone to say apologies. I weren't meant to.
Oh, I'll go in and unblock her in a second. Yes, is it a timeout or a block?
No, it was a full block. He jumped.
You fucking knob. Right
no, but you know when the comments, you know when you do something, it jumps.
Yeah.
I went to block someone else and it jumped.
Who did you block?
Okay.
I'll tell you after.
West Ham Kez.
Oh yeah, by accident. Yeah, by accident.
Yeah, I'm going to unblock her now.
What did I say to you about the comments, mate? What did I say to you about the comments?
Talk about Rodriguez. Give me 2 minutes while I'm doing this.
I'm not having it. Nick's caused fucking mayhem with that comment. Nick, you've only got one job, mate.
John, do me a favour. John, do me a favour, mate. Fuck off. Right, Rodriguez. He grew into the game. I thought he had a better game as well, didn't he? Is you marking this one?
It's meant to be me, Mick, but obviously you want to steal the fucking limelight.
No, it's not. It's John's one.
It's
John's
all
one.
Me. I'm about
John's one.
Me.
No, Rodriguez was far better than his previous game. I think his performance went under the radar. I thought he was fairly solid. I thought he'd done a lot of the work on his own in the midfield. I think because Paqueta was quite off the boil, I felt personally. I thought he had a good game. I'm going to give him a 7.
Going to give him a 7?
I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he looked good. I thought he looked better. I think last week he was a little bit rabbit in the headlights against Villa. Yes, Villa are a better side, obviously, as well than Palace, with all due respect. But I thought he did well. I'll give him a 7, yeah.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to have to do that after, Kez. I can't see you.
I apologise massively.
I
will unblock you. Right, so you
a subscriber. Well done, Mick. Who's going to go subscribe to these new channels now because of you?
So you got 7. So next one is it's going to be Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta. I think he struggled, but he had a much better game. There wasn't any petulance in this one. I thought he was far better than he was against Aston Villa. He did have a couple of moments. He came to life in the. Yeah. Oh, is this you?
Too late now. You've done it. Just carry on.
Yes. Oh, sorry, mate. No. Actually, go on. No, Mick, go on. No, go on. No, it's your one. Do it in order. Go on.
He wants you to have it, Mick, because strategically he wants to talk about Soucek.
No, I was going to say Paqueta.
I think a lot of his work does go unnoticed. It weren't a great performance of his. I think he was an average for me. I like that little thing up. You know, we usually have what the player ratings are upstairs, but I'd say, I'm torn between a 6 and a 7 for him.
Oh, wow.
What? Would you go higher?
I'll go lower. I genuinely, the best thing he did all game.
6 max for me. 6 max for me.
Well, I'm looking at that. I was going to go. I'm saying I did say 6 or 7. I would say 6.
Yeah,
he was very sloppy with his passing. I felt.
But you know something. Looking at that graphic,
as well.
but looking at that graphic there, just very quickly before you give your score, right? Jay was bang on with his assessment. So if you look at Rodriguez and Paqueta, yeah, the way that we was playing was we was knocking it about between that back four, and then we was launching it long, and we was bypassing those two. So the only time they got involved in the game was defensively. Paqueta and Rodriguez. The only time that Paqueta and Rodriguez got involved in that game was in a defensive capacity because we was bypassing that fucking midfield. We was never going to build up through them. The only time they had any influence in that game was when they won the ball back or something like that. That was it. It was just tactics to fucking suit the fist pumper up the top there. Look, but so would you rate Mick?
Well, no, I'm going to pure pressure. Well, I was going 6 or 7, so we'll go 6. I think that's.
You go 6.
6 is fair.
No, it's fair. He weren't terrible. He didn't have a bad game.
No, as I said, he weren't like shocking where you go fucking hell, he's shit. But he won one of his best. One of his better games.
I thought the best thing they did during that game was run out of the wall and take the free kick off.
Right. All I'm going to say is for me with Thomas Soucek, I'm fed up talking about him. For me, it was a donkey performance. He gets a point for the goal and a point for saving a child, so I'll give him a 6. But John, do you want to talk about Soucek at all, or anyone else?
Nah, go on. You're done. Don't worry. There's not much to say. We discussed him earlier on, didn't we? To be honest with you.
I think it's 6. I think it's 6 is fine. Like I said to you, his performance on the pitch was donkey worthy, but he scored a goal and he did do that nice gesture with a kid. Right, Jared Bowen, John.
He was far more involved in the game than he was against Villa, but not until Aaron Wan-Bissaka came on. Because when Aaron can we abbreviate his name? It's getting on my nerves. When Aaron came
Call him what you want.
AWB, there we go.
Yeah.
When AWB came on, for me, it seemed to release Bowen a little bit mentally. I think he realised when AWB came on that he didn't have to worry so much about what was behind him. He felt more confident in what was behind him. With all due respect, Soufal, love him to pieces, but he can't do that role anymore. Not at all. His legs are gone. So if you're in front of him, you have to. All players on the pitch have to defend these days, right? They have to get up and down.
I mean, did you see how often Bowen was really deep though, like on the halfway line all the time?
Because he has to compensate more so for when Soufal's on for what Soufal hasn't got. Aaron Wan-Bissaka for me straight away when he came on, he created a lot of impetus going forward because all of a sudden there was a gear shift, right? His athleticism is what we have missed, not just on the right, but as a team in general.
He can't attack though, John. Wan-Bissaka can't attack though.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know where that came from, but listen,
apparently,
when you can suck up pressure all you want, you can sit back all you want, but if your transition is slow as fuck, you ain't getting out. And with someone like him, with that raw pace and athleticism, and he's played a lot of Premier League football already at a young age. Getting us up the pitch is imperative, right? And Bowen was released, and it changed the way we played as a team.
Yeah,
it was brilliant. And Bowen for me grew into the game
from that point.
Because he looked quite frustrated until he looked as pissed.
They're gonna be. Right? This is what I'm saying to you. Soufal and Soucek are running about with big smiles on their faces. Everyone else is fucked off. Honestly, they'll be happy to get the win, but playing football that way must be demoralising for players that that are good on the ball. We've got two players that they're better off the ball than they're on it. Soufal and Soucek. The rest of the players, maybe Antonio on that graphic, but the rest of those players are better on the ball. Ball to feet, getting running at players. You know, they're not knockdown merchants. Bowen and Kudus are not knockdown.
He don't know what syllables means, right?
Mickey, can I just say, if you're going to ban anyone from the chat, ban this fella, yeah?
You're joking. He's getting top spot. I'm highlighting his ones.
Right, so go on, Bowen. What was your score anyway?
7.
7, yeah, for the goal. It was a 6 performance, wasn't it? Overall.
No, it was better than a 6. It's a 7. What are you talking about?
Well, without the goal, it would have been a 6, is what I'm saying.
Well, hang on, you've asked me to score him, and you're telling me that if he hadn't scored, I would have given him a 6.
I'm deconstructing your score, yeah. No, I love Bowen, but he weren't good for 2/3 of the game. Right.
Nick, you're
I know
asking
why.
me to score him.
I know why.
You're asking me to score him, but telling me what I would have scored him if he wouldn't have scored. Don't tell me what I would have scored him.
Right, Mickey, do you want me to give you a lead on Kudus, or you're all right?
So, go on, you start off and I'll jump in.
Go on, mate. Go on.
Everyone knows it. It's not his best position, is it, being out on the left? No one really wants to see him out there. Although he still does a job.
Mate, does a job. This is the thing. He's our best player.
Don't say things like that.
I know. Do you want to jump in again? He does a job out there, but it's not good enough to just do a job out there.
That face says everything. That was his face on the bench.
To be honest with you, if that's his face in a photo shoot, maybe that's just his face.
No, when Lopetegui went to high-five him, he looked at him as if to say, fuck off, mate. He weren't happy. He weren't happy.
I think he'd just be happy playing anyway. He's
happy in the chat. Happy's in the chat. That's definitely not happy. Happy's in the chat.
Right. What's your score for him anyway, mate?
Well, for me, I've got to give him a 6. I think it was an average game. Yeah, but you know yourself that he would be so much better. He'd be getting, and he should be getting more higher scores than that if he was played in his proper position.
The best part of that game from Kudus was when he drifted inside and fucking ran past about 4 or 5 players through the middle of the park. Yeah. In the middle is where you play him, and he ain't because of fucking Spinney.
But then who is it with the commentators are saying about they were trying to get, I think Sloppy's trying to get Kudus and Bowen coming into the middle. And you see that on his goal, Bowen's goal. So if he wants to try and play the same way for Kudus on the opposite side, I can understand it. I can understand what he wants to try and do.
Yeah, but this is my thing. People think it's just an agenda against Soucek. It is when he does this to our team. Who would you rather get the best out of, Thomas Soucek or Kudus? Who would have more of an impact on our team if you're getting the very best out of either one of them two players?
I mean, yeah, but you want to get the best out of all your players. So at the end of the day, what I mean by that is if you play the players in their right position, all of the players in their right position, it helps all the other players out. So it brings everyone out.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not about getting the best out of one player. It's about getting the best out of the whole 11 you have on the pitch. And for me, the only way you do that is by playing the players in the right position. Why is Kudus? Why are we still doing the introverted wingers thing anyway? Why are we still actually doing that?
I honestly don't know.
But even today, when I went Dagenham and Redbridge Southend, both of those teams in National League have the inverted winger thing.
It's a new thing, but the thing is with Emerson and Wan-Bissaka, once Alvarez is back and you've got a proper, because Rodriguez is great and he'll partner him, but I think Alvarez is also a centre back. So once you've got Alvarez sat in the middle who can drop back, split Dinos and Kilman. And you've got Emerson and Wan-Bissaka that can bomb on the overlap on their strongest foot. They're the ones that will give you delivery from wide areas. So I do see the sense in it. But at the moment, they're really fucking isolated. Our kind of Kudus isn't. He's just not a left winger. He's an average left winger. You know.
You're gonna take that, Nick.
What's that, mate?
Yeah, comment.
Now Soucek will sit. Kudus will move in the middle. I'll bet you 25 quid.
Dollars.
20. Oh, do you know what? I'm not going to take the bet because I really don't fucking know. I hope not.
Brian, just before we start with the bet and that, what dollars we talk? US, Canadian? What we doing?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. All I'm saying is if Soucek provides. I mean, Soucek is a shit defensive midfielder as well. He gets overrun. The idea that he's this amazing defensive player is a fallacy. He can't. And how can we play out from the back if you're sitting him deeper, for fuck's sake? He can't pass.
Go on, Colin.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Antonio, right? Antonio, he was poor, but I don't think the way that we played for the time that he was on the pitch was suited to him. I think we was aiming at Soucek. Soucek was the number 9. Antonio was, because Bowen was dropping deep, Antonio was dropping out to the right wing, and Soucek was the fucking forward player, and we was aiming the ball at him. He weren't getting no knockdowns. There was no supply. Antonio was about as good as Bowen and Kudus in that first half. Well, Kudus, I think he had that run. Antonio was poor. I'm not donkeying him up because we didn't play in a way that fed a striker. Strikers need service. He didn't get that. He just had a bloke fucking nicking his position. So I'm giving him a 5.
Yeah, but you can't. You have to judge him on his performance, whatever the system is, Nick. You can't say.
I donkeyed him up last week. I don't think We've done the same before. I mean, you said that.
I love Antonio. I agree with you, but you can't score him based on what system does or doesn't suit. Because you could say the same about Soufal. That's all I'm saying. It's your
Football
choice.
Doesn't suit him. Right.
Scoring. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm not donkeying Mickey up. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Not this week. I don't think he did anything drastically wrong. He just didn't do anything. I don't think he had the ball. He weren't good. He weren't good at all. But I don't think tactically we were set up to feed him. We were set up to feed Soucek.
Get that Muppet out. Get that Muppet out. Get him out. Tell him.
Right, Füllkrug, John.
Big fucking German. We've got a big.
Love that song. He loved it as well, apparently.
I thought he did all right when he came on. He was involved to some extent in Soucek's goal just by being a fucking pest. I'll give him a 6.
Give him a 6. He was unlucky not to score, wasn't he? He was unlucky not to score. He just hesitated,
he was unlucky
didn't
not
he?
to score. You're right. Yeah, I forgot that. He was unlucky not to score. Yeah, I just like him for that song now. I just like that song.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to come good. I do. Once we've got the right team in there. And the thing is, if you are going to play direct, even if we are, surely he's got to be your target man, isn't he?
So he's not the German Hugo anymore, Nick? You're not the German
Not
Hugo?
yet. No, well, you're still the German Hugo till he scores.
No.
Right, till he scores. That's a fair. I don't mind Füllkrug. I don't mind Füllkrug. He's all right. So
Wan-Bissaka.
No, I think they're later on. Cresswell has a good one for you, Mick.
Fuck you know. I don't know what he done.
Just replaced Emerson. That was about it.
He replaced Emerson.
That's it.
He just came on.
Good. He looked good getting off the bench. 5. Fucking hell, I don't know what he done.
5. He didn't do anything wrong, did he? Because otherwise would have picked up on it.
Yeah, so just 5 standard.
Tadibo, not great.
He came on the 88th minute, didn't he?
He came on late and gave away a free kick in a very dangerous area. I'm going to be brutal and I'm going to give him a 5. I think he was quite rash when he came on. I'll be honest.
Nasty bastard. You and Darren Potter are getting on. He said a 5 too.
Yeah. No, I think he's a great player, but he came on and he made a mistake. He missed the first challenge, and he went in again and gave him away a free kick.
He's a wind-up merchant, Mickey.
Is he? All right, fair enough.
He's a one. Don't ban him though. Just ban people like Kez instead.
So Tadibo, I'm giving him a 5. He's far better than that. Tadibo's way better. He's a fucking great defender. So.
They weren't on long enough, was they?
No. But you got to call it as you see it. He came on and made a fuck up. Alvarez, what a fucking relief, John. What a relief to see him back.
Yeah, when he came on, I was happy when he came on. He shut down that Walton very early on when he came on. I thought he was very good. We just looked a lot more balanced when he came on in the middle as well. Happy to see him back. He was only on 15 minutes, so I can't give him a high score. So I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, I just love the energy he had.
I love the energy.
He was fucking brilliant.
You could see he wanted to get back on. I'd give him a higher score, but come on, he was only on the pitch 15 minutes.
He went on long enough. Did you say 6? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 average, 15 minutes. Come on.
And the game changer.
All these people, like people overseas and people who live in Spain. Jada Soul Coach 7. Come on, lads, get a grip.
Right. The last one. You got the best one again. You've had fucking Kilman and Wan-Bissaka. Go on, Mick.
Oh, for fuck's
What a breath of fresh air. What a fucking breath of fresh air when he come on. He just changed the game. You could see he changed Bowen's mindset. He just got more confident and just like a weight was lifted off his shoulders. Wan-Bissaka, as soon as he come on, he took about 3 players on, didn't he?
And a little intelligent touch inside, a little link. He's
moved back and put that ball through to Bowen. Oh, just fantastic. He's got to be starter straight away. Just from that 15 minutes, 20 minutes, he's got to be a starter.
Yeah.
Will he start though? That's the question.
I think he'll start against Bournemouth. I think he'll start against Bournemouth. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he'll have to. I think he done more in them like that 10, 15, 20 minutes than Soufal done the previous game and what he played for the weekend. He done more then. I just look so more confident of having him there than Soufal. Sorry,
yeah.
So much more what?
Confident of having him now.
You didn't say confident. You went confident.
That's how I talk, John. I've got that's how I talk, mate. It's out of order.
Right, it's the talkies now. What have I got?
He's got a speech dependent.
I've got a speech dependent, mate.
Right. Mickey, score. You didn't give me a score, did you?
Oh, 8.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what. So, gents, give me 4 players for the poll for the man of the match.
AWB, Kilman, AWB, Rodriguez, Guido,
Dinos.
Mavro, maybe. Yeah.
Right,
Or Ariola.
I'll get that set up now. Right, 1 minute before I do that. Go back to this one. Right, John and Mickey, you talk about the new manager. John goes first. Go on.
What can we say about him, mate? Listen, he ain't going to suffer no fools. We saw it in the first game. We saw it at the weekend. He don't care who you are, what your name is, or what role you have at the club, or how important you think you are at the club. He will take you off the pitch as and when he desires. He will make changes when things ain't going right. He don't care if you're a star name or not. He'll take you off. And I love that about a manager. He ain't going to have his set 11. Although, funnily enough, the last 2 games he has had the same 11.
Yeah, that's a funny statement when he started with the same fucking 11 for 2 games running.
Yes, but Nick, he's made the changes when necessary, yeah? Like you said, how many times have we seen 5 subs running up and warming up?
Well, no. You never.
Right. He will get his team in his mind. He will change the team. I think a lot of what he picks will be based on what he sees on a training ground through the week come the Saturday, you know? So...
It was a 4 options for man of the match. 1 second.
Kilman, Rodriguez, Amber Wan-Bissaka, and Ariola. I don't know. Or was it a Mavro?
I said Dinos.
So I do Dinos.
I think Kilman's won it by a fucking mile. To be fair to you, everyone's saying Kilman.
Right, the poll's in the chat anyway. Man of the match is down to you lot.
So for me, I'll give Lopetegui. Good first win as West Ham manager. First 3 points as West Ham manager in the Premier League. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, I think he deserves it for the subs that he made, and we got it back in the end. I do think we rode our luck in that first half. I do. But,
I weren't happy about the lineup though. That's the only thing I'd say about it. I weren't happy about his lineup.
I wouldn't give him an 8, but I suppose you've got to because it's his first win, and he did make the changes that was needed. That last 20 minutes for me, that relieved all of the pressure. It wasn't the 2 goals; it was the changes. It was seeing Soucek and Soufal come off, seeing Alvarez come on. That fucking cheered me up no end because we just looked different. I still felt sad about Kudus, to be quite honest, because I just think we're going to end up seeing him grow frustrated out there on the left. He is a model professional, Kudus, but I think if you keep on playing him in a position where he's not showcasing his talent, it's going to start to affect him. It will do. So, but I don't think we're going to see that for long. Anyone that thinks that we're going to be building that 5 players there around that bloke in the fucking middle is off their tits.
I don't think people genuinely believe that, do they?
I think some do. Some genuinely fucking believe it.
Some people want it, but I think some people want it just to try. It's the same. Like, fuck you lot to other people.
Yeah. I think so. I don't know why you'd. I don't even know why you would want to. Why would you want to when you got all these players? Why would you even want to do that? It makes no sense. It's like saying I want to stick with Antonio up front because you like him. That's what it's like. That's what it's like saying.
Yeah, and as much as I love Antonio and what he's done for the club, I don't think he should be starting.
No.
Yeah, agreed.
So you said 8, didn't you? We'll give him an 8. We'll stick with the 8 anyway.
I'm happy, yeah. I'll give him an 8. I like the fact that he's not scared to make changes, which we've had a lot of managers, well, one manager in particular who's been scared to make changes.
Fucking 89% for Kilman.
He was superb. Yeah. 40 million, what a waste, eh? Fucking hell.
Yeah, no, I fucked that one up, didn't I?
I don't like to, when I'm right, I don't like to,
Right, there we go. Kilman gets a man of the match. Job done.
When you're right, we'll know about it.
He's got a Mark Haaland next week, so it's different.
Fucking hell. Poor bastard.
Oh. Look. What on my face then? It's fucking terrible. Don't do that.
But look, I suppose, at the end of the day, the way you've got to look at it is the way that you said, John. It is the first 3 points are on the board. It's really fucking important. We're going into an international break after the Man City game. You can't bank on getting anything out of the City game. So to actually get off the mark was so important, wasn't it? It was.
100%. Because, you said it the other week, like, how long do you give him after the Villa game? How long do you give him before you start to... And I get that, but that's any manager at any club. You know,
do you think he'll feel like a bit of pressure's been relieved now, Lopetegui? Now he's got the 3 points.
If you think managers don't feel pressure, then you're mad. And it don't matter what level of manager. I mean, I'm sure Pep still feels pressure. You know, Lopetegui's been out of work for a year, 18 months. He said he's been waiting for the West Ham job, which I don't know if he has or not. But you know, it's a massive shift coming into a club. Big rebuild, lots of players in.
Yeah.
You know, rebuilding the squad, and not only the squad, but the style of play, mentality, whatever. I just think it's a massive burden a massive weight off his shoulders. Sorry.
There is an argument, right? And this is a concern. Obviously, look, he's a fucking expert. He knows what he's doing. But there is a theory behind what he's doing, which I suppose it must be what it is. And that is that he's showing respect. He's a man that respects the squad, not just the starting 11. And he's come in and he wants to galvanise the squad, the group of players. So, you know, is there an argument to say maybe what he's doing is he's respecting the old guard and giving them a chance, and he's not just kind of forcing them out. He's kind of doing it gradually. But my only argument with that, and my only concern is that these players have been the mainstays, the starting 11, whether they've been good, shit, or worse throughout the last 2 years, 3 years. And I think if you play that game for too long, the same will happen again. They'll become the main players. You end up with that same mentality. Whereas I think what he had coming in as a new manager with new players and a new start was a clean slate. And he could have gone, no, I'm going to pick the team that fuck what you've done before. We're playing a new style, and this is what we're going to be doing. I think if he'd have, personally for me, that would be the approach that I would take, because if he starts like Soucek, say for instance he plays Soucek, you know, I don't know, 2 times, 4 games, and he scores 2 shit-house goals. How can you drop him really? Because he's doing what you're putting him on there to do. So he's kind of making a rod for his own back in the starting lineup.
Because he's not. I'll tell you why he's not making the rod. The reason he's not making the rod for his own back, Nick, is like what I've said a minute ago. He will not be scared to make changes. He will start the strongest team that he thinks is available at that time. Now, I'm not telling you that he thinks Soucek's a better player than Alvarez, but for whatever reason, at this moment, no, we know he's
Spanish, for fuck's sake.
But
I bet there ain't a Spanish player like Soucek. I bet he's never seen one before. Honestly.
Listen, we have to trust Lopetegui. We have to trust the process. And I hate that fucking saying, but it is true. You will get his vision in a few more games time. You'll get the proper players in position, but he won't also he won't just stick with the same 11 week in, week out. If someone's off form, he ain't going to be scared to drop them. If Kudus keeps sulking, listen, I know Kudus is in his wrong position. It's not his favourite position. But if he keeps having an attitude problem, let me tell you now, Lopetegui won't be afraid to drop him for attitude problem reasons. I'm telling you.
So then, on that theory, though, and I do believe you're right, but then why didn't he drop Soucek for the last game? Because the first game
he was shit.
He was shocking.
Hang on a minute.
That's what I'm asking you.
Because I said to Nick when we was out on Saturday night, I heard from someone, I can't remember who, and whether it's true or not, I don't know. Someone said something about Wan-Bissaka got concussion in a friendly match.
He wouldn't have been on the bench. He wouldn't have been on the bench.
Whatever. I don't know.
He wouldn't be allowed on the bench. If it was about concussion, he wouldn't have been allowed on the bench.
Listen, all right. Listen to fucking me a minute, right?
Well, you want to calm down, John.
Right, go on. Finish your point.
He's only just come into the club, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know Lopetegui. Lopetegui don't know him. He's seen him on Match of the Day like we have. He has to be sure that Wan-Bissaka's bought into his style of play, bought into his system, bought into it on the training field. Now Wan-Bissaka's had his chance. Believe me, I'll be, and if he drops him, I'll be incandescent with rage.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked now.
Yeah.
Not in the cup, but in the league. I'll be shocked if Soucek starts over Wan-Bissaka.
Well, I'll tell you what. Moving on swiftly then to we're playing Bournemouth midweek. There is one player who I wouldn't risk. I don't want to see him against Bournemouth, and that's Alvarez. I don't think I'd risk him.
No.
I don't want to play him. But apart from that, obviously we haven't got the European Cups. I want to try and progress in the domestic cups this year because I think we need that. You do need that. If all you got the league, it gets a little bit fucking boring, doesn't it? So in the cup, Bournemouth are a decent team. How would you like to see us line up with that one.
I'd like to see us go as full strength as possible.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
I'd like to see the new players like to Bedo. Yeah, it gets me going.
I think that's a good shout. I think it'd be a good chance to give Tadibo his first game at least.
Yeah. Good.
Like I said, I'd like to see
Wan-Bissaka should start.
Somerville as well. Yeah.
Falkirk to actually start the game and see what he's got.
He calls him Falkirk.
Oh no, don't call him
Premier League team playing up front.
This is what Nick, the one who called him fuck rug to start off with. Falkirk's still a lot closer to what he said.
So look, the way looking at the graphic, the way I would line up now, I would line up with personally. Obviously Fabianski comes in. Yeah. He's a cup keeper, but I would go Emerson.
Cresswell will start.
I would go Emerson. I'd go Kilman. Yeah, but I'm saying how I'd line up. I'd sign up. I'd go Emerson, Kilman, Tadibo, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'd go Rodriguez and Paqueta with Kudus in the middle, Somerville on the left. I'd go Bowen on the right, and I'd go Fulkrug up front. That's what I'd do.
What youngsters have we kept? Have we kept Alford?
We're going to get him loaned out. He's going to get loaned out. So we haven't kept any. Don't need him, to be fair. We've got fucking. I mean, the bench we've got is ridiculous. You know, and once we've got Thingy Bob, Soler, it's gonna get a whole lot better. What I am surprised about is on the list of players that we love
him. We love it.
Yeah, the play, you know, that list of players that they've released, which basically included fucking everyone, including Soucek and James Ward-Prowse, of players that we're happy to release. Antonio was not on that list. He was not on that list.
Because, like I said to you, whether you like it or not,
I don't mind keeping him for a year. I just don't think we should rely on him.
Without Antonio, we've got one striker if Ings goes as well. So you need a backup, even if it's a 10-minute striker, which Antonio probably is now.
Don't you think that's how we're kind of doing it back to front? Do you think we should be almost starting with Fulkrug and using Antonio as an impact striker now? Maybe do it the other way around.
That will happen. I think in time that will happen.
Yeah.
I do. You've got to think... I hate saying it because I sort of agree with myself, but I don't. He is giving players time to bed into the league and blah blah blah. There is a little bit of that, I'm afraid. You've got to play though to bed into a fucking league.
I
agree, but that's what. No, I agree, and that's what I said to you. I hate saying it because even when I'm saying it, I'm disagreeing with myself. But that's what managers will say, and that's what Lopetegui will say probably, and I have to go with that. You know.
So you believe that Cresswell's going to come in at left back?
Yeah, not because I want him to, just because I think he will. Yeah.
So because Soucek is one of us, we can't call him out if he's had a bad game, no?
You can't help it, can you? Soucek is one of us. West Ham, just knock it on the head. Okay, that's fine, mate. Yeah.
We'll go back to the player rating, we'll give everyone a 10.
We'll do it again. We'll give everyone a 10, because, I'll get it.
Because
it makes
West
sense.
Ham, he's one of us.
Yeah, that's
dick.
right.
What a dick.
Richard, I get it.
Only joking, Richard. Only joking, Richard. You're not a dick. Don't worry, mate.
But no. There is. You're going to get that. Look, at the end of the day, we always do. You know, we.
I know, but it's a bit like sort of frustrating when people just think that we're dogging them for the sake of it. No, we're not. We're not.
I'm saying what I'm seeing. What amazes me is what amazes me is what these people see. I don't see what they see. I don't see it. I wish I did. I don't see it.
But it's fine because I think what they see is that when he scores a goal or like he'll win a penalty, which is lovely. We've called it that he has moments in a game. But for a 90-minute game, he's not the player, mate. He's not the player.
No, look. We've just spent a fuckload of money. We've got a ridiculously valuable squad. We've got Ghana's star boy. We've got fucking Brazil's number 10. We've got Germany's number 9. We've got Bowen, a fucking England player. You've got Rodriguez, who's fucking, won a World Cup and 2 Copa Americas.
We've got the magician of Southampton. We've got the magician of Southampton.
You've got the magician of Southampton. And you honestly, no. If we was a shithouse team, then I would, yes, that's fine. Like we were when Moyes came in. He was the right player at the right time. But sometimes you just got to learn to fucking let people go. I think, personally. It's, Yeah, I think it will happen as well. It will happen.
Well, it's all rants and bants. It don't really matter. It's just about opinions at the end of the day.
Rants and bants, yeah. Yeah, no, I know.
Rants
I know.
and bants, I like it. Rants and bants. Let me just, while we're doing Sharky, member for 11 months.
Cheers, Sharky.
A medal.
You do actually get a medal for 11 months. You do get a medal.
You get some gold thing.
Welcome aboard, mate.
Smargo. Barry, what's his name?
Barry Smargo.
Is that his name? Or is that
No. It's an aneurysm, yeah.
£10.
Colin Chilvers, and he's not from Somerset. He corrected us, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
I'm not from Somerset. I'm from Devon.
A few people have asked, but they seem...
jam. Thank you very much.
Right, here we go.
Asked about this, but he seemed to have died down because Nick don't put his thumbs up no more. But pew 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 pew.
I'll tell you what. Hang on a minute.
Yes, John, give me some.
No, I'm not.
Hang on.
Go on. I said I don't need to
We'll do it for Colin. There we go.
Pew 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 pew.
There we go. Right. So put that question back up anyway. Chilvers. Chilvers had a question.
15 minutes. There's a fucking.
Oh yeah, the starred one. I thought you read it. Here we go.
All right. So he says, boys, great show. Tadibo will handle Haaland. We shouldn't fear Man City. They'll be playing like us. Do you know what? That fucking Mbappe, he's come out and said that Tadibo is the only centre-back that he's hated playing against, that he struggled to get anything out of.
Hang on, can I say something? You said that's Mbappe, like we've never heard of him.
Yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying?
Which
Mbappe?
I can't say his name, no.
Go on, what's his name, Mick?
Mbappe.
Mbappe DeMarco.
He was in EastEnders, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mbappe DeMarco.
That's who I thought he was, you know.
But look. I think. I mean, we had a debate about this yesterday on the terraces, didn't we? Like with Paul, he put a thing on there, and there was loads of voice notes after it. And his take was that he thinks that we should just kind of have a go at City. He said because if you look back, he said it's unlikely to get anything out of it anyway. He said, but if you look back at when Man City have been beaten, it's typically when teams do have a go at them, and you kind of catch them out. You catch them out.
There's no point sitting back inviting them on, in my opinion.
No.
Because
cheers, Kingy.
Then you're like, if you sit back and say have the ball, we'll watch you have the ball. That is far too much respect. Yeah. And as West Ham fans, as a West Ham fan, we shouldn't respect fucking anybody. The best games we've had is when we're in people's faces, right? They may be better than us
100%
and all that, but we've got a better team than we had last year. Let's fucking. I don't think Lopetegui. So, I'll be surprised if Lopetegui goes defensive against.
Can I ask you something? Right, we all agree on this. So against Aston Villa and against Crystal Palace, we did have that gaping hole in central midfield. It was we was getting overrun. So if he does that again and puts Soucek in that role, what are Man City going to do to those two players, whoever they are, sitting deep?
Well, you'd imagine they'd ruin them. Yeah,
you're going to get ruined. So what do you do? What do you do?
You bring in Alvarez.
Yeah, I know.
For me, you bring in Alvarez and push Paqueta in the Soucek role.
Yeah, that's what I like. Towards the end of that game, when you had for a very brief period before Kudus came off, you had Alvarez and Guido sort of tearing about in midfield. You had and the four running forward was Paqueta, Kudus, Bowen, and Fuckrug. It looked good.
And that's a good point as well. Imagine Doku versus Sufal.
Against Wan-Bissaka, though. Wan-Bissaka's already pocketed Doku.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But private hire Pete, I'm guessing he's a minicab driver. Get him off. Get him off. Get him off. No minicab drivers here. Only black taxi drivers, mate. Have a bit of fucking respect.
You know what? Yeah, the chat kept on saying to me about can I order a cab, and I thought, what the fuck are they going on about? Then I realised CMB doesn't like cab.
Taxi for Mickey.
It does.
Yeah, last week they kept on going, can I book a cab? And I'm thinking, what the fuck are they going on about?
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about. It looks like cab.
Yeah.
Pretend you're a controller in a minicab office. Let's have a ring, 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 ring.
Hello, ABC cabs.
Oh, mate, have a cab.
Not got nothing for about half hour. See you later, mate. Try something else.
Mate, useless. I'll get a black cab.
You're an Uber. Uber's a better.
It's a North Essex. Oh, not sorry, North Essex, Virgil. No ranks around here. Sorry, mate. I just thought you was a right ranker earlier on. So.
A right ranker.
Yeah, you ranker.
But I'll tell you what. If you got any questions, drop them in there at the moment. I have got the phone-in thing working again. It's taking me ages to do it. I have got it, but we're not doing them tonight because I've got to be up early in the morning. I've got an early start, so we're going to be off. We're going to be off hopefully by about 10.
Are you not working from home tomorrow?
No. So any questions?
Home to go to work.
Grafting.
Right.
I'm actually grafting. Yeah. I'm grafting. Also, for all you lovely people watching, we have an Arsenal show. If you have enjoyed it, please drop a like on the video. Does help us. And subscribe while you're there.
Don't forget our other channel, Claret and Booze Extra Time. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely do. The boys over there, I mean, they're a channel in their own right. So it's Sam and Luigi that are running that. So like I say, it's completely their baby.
The only thing about it, they're not the best looking pair of blokes I've ever seen. This channel, we have the good looking fellas.
This is a sex appeal. The sex appeal channel.
Because they're ugly, basically. Yeah. So
they did ask you to go on, didn't they?
Yeah.
I did ask you to go on.
He's gifted 10 Carol memberships.
Nick, you're an absolute gentleman. I'll tell you what I am going to mention. I'll probably get cancelled for this, by the way. But when I was hanging, because as you all know, look, we run a support group, all right? So when I was hanging on, when did we go out? Was it Saturday night? Saturday. So I woke up Sunday morning, and Nick, bless him, Nick is in he's in a care home. He's in a hospital out in Essex, and he's basically went through a bit of a situation with the carer. Horrible. He's been through loads with it as well. And I phoned him up for him as well. So what I did that morning was I phoned up to try and get him some care because he was in agony. They're taking his medication away, and he'd basically been fucking sick all over himself. And he messaged on there to sort of ask us if anyone could help him phone the hospital. So that's what I did. I'm literally laying in bed, phoning the hospital up. That took ages. Got through eventually to someone. They weren't very helpful. They basically just said, you know, I can't. All I wanted to know was that they was going to go and care for him, and they said, you know, I can't help you. That's confidential. I said, look, I'm going to call the bloody police because the way I see it, it's like an accusation of abuse. I said, so I'm going to call the police. She just went, you can do what you want. So I did phone the police. So I phoned the Metropolitan Police. They took it. They said that's fine. Yeah, it sounds like a valid thing to report. They passed it on to Essex Police. I then get a phone call back 20 minutes later, really, really quick, with them basically saying, lovely woman, you know, it's obviously they've got their own processes that they've got to run, but they basically said, look, he's in a place of care. There isn't really anything that we can do. I said, but this is kind of I said, is it not worth investigating? And she said, it's not something we can do. She gave me an NHS helpline email address that you phone. So not anything that the police wanted to get involved with. But if you type some nasty words online, you get in fucking trouble, don't you? You do. That's the way it works now.
Get put away, put things on.
That's the way it works. But he got sorted. Nick one got sorted in the end anyway. I was just shocked because you would imagine that if you reported abuse, that the police would investigate, but they didn't. You know, because I suppose because he's in a hospital. I don't know. I don't really understand how it all works. I was just fucking shocked. The world we live in.
World we live in, eh?
I know.
About opinions. It's all about opinions, but only ones you can have.
Yes, just just nothing about Soucek. Nothing about Soucek.
One of us.
Nothing about Soucek. But
when you said I was laying in bed with a phone in my hand, I was thinking of some of my nights laying in bed with a phone in my hand.
Yeah.
The one answering weren't usually.
Weren't that sort of phone call, John? Sadly, it weren't.
Well, that sort of
Sadly, it weren't. But yeah. So look, that's it. That's it from us. Then there aren't any questions in the chat anyway. So thank you all for joining me. Like I said to you, please drop a like on the video. We're growing very well. Welcome to all the new subscribers as well. We've had a really good couple of weeks. We've had sort of I think around about just over 300 new subscribers in a couple of weeks, which is massive for
why?
us.
You know why? I think that.
It's because you're back, John. It's because you're big face. Yeah, because you're big face.
I'm not, no. I haven't got a big face. Don't be smart. I'm a face. Yeah.
Yes, you are. And look, like I say, we do get a lot of stick on this channel. We do. But do you know something? We don't do that. You know, I will have a bit of banter. You know, like I did with Hammers Chat the other day, where I sort of called out Gonzo for his Soucek thing. But that's tongue in cheek. I was just having a bit of banter with
all the other YouTube channels. The bastards.
But that's tongue in cheek. I did say I always watch Gonzo, and also I'm not being funny. Don't forget, I'd made that faux pas about Kudus the week before, saying I made a business case to say we could actually be all right if Kudus went. So yeah, I know. So we all fuck up, but we do get a lot of hate. We don't try and drive anyone away from other channels to come to ours. We don't demean other channels. We don't try and make ourselves sound better than everyone else so that you can fucking. To be
fair, mate, most of them demean themselves.
Yeah, no, but we don't do that, John. We don't do that.
No, we don't never do that. Only on WhatsApp groups, yeah.
Yeah, only on WhatsApp. Yeah, only on WhatsApp groups. But we don't. We don't. So yeah, like I say, I'm seeing a lot of what's going on at the moment. It's quite sad, really, to be quite honest. For the narrative that's being peddled and what people are sort of buying into. That's up to you. You won't get it back from us. We're not slagging anyone else off. We're just not doing it. We are what we are. We're the same as we've always been, and we're never going to change.
You're on an award or something. It's like you're thanking everybody. You're boring me now.
Yeah, no, I know. I just didn't want
to be fair to your job.
I know.
I signed that when he started talking.
Oh, yeah, how about that? Bonner's signed for Watford. We forgot
That's a shock.
Yeah, I suppose so.
That's a shock. Yeah,
they've got Italian owners, and he's Italian, so...
Yeah.
Oh, that's not nice.
Yeah. Was that Tommy said there? Some West Ham channel put a video out the other day called it "Is Soucek out?" But that was us. That was us. It was tongue in cheek, though, Tom. It was tongue in cheek.
Irish Tom, is he still about?
Hey?
Is he still about, old Irish Tommy, is he?
He is, yeah, he's back. He's back. He had the summer off, didn't he? He was in Tipperary for a little while.
Channel put out a video the other day going, Soucek, our best player. I nearly choked on my cornflakes.
Indeed,
I thought he was here. I thought Irish Tommy joined the chat then.
He was here. We should get him on sometime. We'd have to have subtitles, but we'll get him on.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true, actually. Nathan says, don't forget, we should say thanks for Soucek. Thank you very much for the blessing that is Thomas Soucek. That is true, you know. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. All right, look, we're going to leave it there anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. The phone calls will be back next week. We'll be on a Sunday. It'll be as normal. Like I say, it's all working now, so yeah, it will all be back to normal as of next week. No, it's Monday.
Feels like a Sunday, though, doesn't it?
It does. But anyway, all hail Thomas Soucek. Do you know what? He'll be. Oh, he's a fucking wind-up, he is. Absolute wind-up. Right. I'll speak to you all later anyway. Come on, you irons.
Take care. You're at Bournemouth on Wednesday. You're going to log off, Nick. They're still watching us. I
don't know what to do. I don't know what to play us out to. I ain't got enough fucking songs on there.
Amateur
Bit of Jimmy, there you go.
When you score, you make the West Ham sings. Jimmy on the wing. Jimmy, Jimmy on the wing. Every time you're on the ball, we know it's gonna be a goal. Your real name is Crescencio. La da da da, la da 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 dum. La da 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 dum. La da 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 dum. La da da da.
Welcome to Claret and Booze. Right, I'm cutting that short. Sorry, I did say this. This is Monday night. This is Stell's West Ham Voice night show. So the West Ham Voice, Stell's normally on a Monday night. I did text him to let him know that we'd moved it. I don't know if he's on. Go and check. If he is on, please head over to Stell as well. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you, everyone. Go over and give Stelios a watch. Speak to you in a bit. Come on, you on.
That's the bloke who runs EasyJet, isn't it?
Yeah.